What's going on YouTube? It is Top 10 Viral here today. I am your host, Shocks or Shockables, and today we're going to be bringing you our list of top 10 unsolved mysteries. Number 1. The Woolpit Children. In the 12th century, two siblings approached the town of Woolpit in England. The brother and sister looked normal at first, but on closer inspection, their skin had a greenish hue to it. Apparently, they didn't know English and spoke an unknown language. They also wore strange clothing, and the only thing they would eat was raw beans. They continued to live in the town until the boy eventually died. His sister grew up and learned English, started eating normal food, and lost her green coloring. She told others that she and her brother came from a place called St. Martin's Land, an underground world where everyone was green. Is this story true? There's no concrete evidence for it. Some believe it's fake, others think it's true. Either way, it's still pretty creepy both ways. Number 2. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is now recognized as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the world. It is an area in the North Atlantic where aircrafts and ships have disappeared under deeply suspicious circumstances. One of the greatest occurrences of this is Flight 19. They were a group of 5 bombers who went on a routine mission exercise in 1945. When they started to experience technical difficulty in their aircrafts, they never returned from where they set off from. A group of search and rescue planes went out later searching for them. They also never returned. Another occurrence of this is the USS Cyclops, a U.S. Navy boat that disappeared in 1918 with all 309 crew on board, as well as the Connemare 4, a pleasure yacht, found adrift in 1955 with all the crew missing. Number 3. The Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster is another example of a famous unsolved mystery. On December 6, 1933, the Daily Express published a photo of an apparent monster that was lurking in Scotland's Loch Ness. Since that time, there have been investigations, scientific studies, countless sightings reporting of the creature swimming within the dark waters of the loch. Described as having a long neck, serpent-like, Nessie is theorized to be the last of its kind. No solid evidence suggests that this creature exists, but the countless sightings are hard to ignore. Number 4. Dog Boy. In 1954, Gerald Floyd Bettis was born to Floyd and Adeline Bettis in what has been since named the Bettis House. Those who knew him claimed that he used to catch dogs and cats and keep them in his home as a young boy, but he wasn't playing with them or keeping them as pets. Instead, he would horribly torture and kill the creatures, but what he is really known for is his treatment of his parents. The story goes that he imprisoned them in his attic, keeping them there for years. According to police reports, he did abuse his parents quite badly, but wasn't arrested for it until after the death of his father and his continued abuse of his mother. He died in prison of a drug overdose. Since then, people have claimed that paranormal activity is common in the house. Flickering lights, strange noises, and moving objects have all been reported. Number 5. The Children. One night in the 90s, journalist Brian Bethel was parked outside of a movie theater when he was approached by 2 children. The kids were around 10 years of age, but Bethel somehow experienced a fear unlike any other in their presence. The children said they wanted to see a particular movie, but they left their money at home. They asked Bethel if they could have a ride home. Still gripped with fear, he refused and started his car. The kids' eyes turned jet black. They told him that he couldn't get in his car unless he invited them, but Brian drove away. He wrote about this experience in an online blog, and ever since, people from all over the world have shared their experiences with the children. Number 6. The Enfield Horror. In 1973, a boy named Greg Garrett was playing in his backyard in Enfield, Illinois, when he was attacked. However, it wasn't by a normal person, and the description of the attacker fits that of no animal anyone has ever heard of before. Thus began the legend of the Enfield Horror, Illinois' own mythological monster. Every person who witnessed the beast described it as the same: 3 legs, 5 feet tall, tail and arms with curls in the front of the torso like a T-Rex, and gleaming red eyes that peer out of the dark with a weird radiance. Nobody knows exactly what attacked him, and the world may never know. Number 7. Doris Demon. Nobody believed Doris Bither. She was a constantly drunk mother who abused her children because she herself was once abused. However, everything changed when several paranormal investigators decided to sit in a room with her and watch her struggle with the entities she claimed haunted her. When Doris asked a few paranormal investigators to observe her, they were skeptical at first, but eventually agreed. Sure enough, Doris eventually began cursing at 3 unseen entities. Suddenly, auras began forming around her. A mysterious green mist began swirling around Doris. One of the investigators fainted. No one knows exactly what happened that day, and they never will. Number 8. Pavaglia Island. There are many places in the world which are renowned for being haunted. Many of them are old insane asylums where the inmates were treated harshly and inhumanly, or they were places with ties to devastating plagues. Then there's Pavaglia Island, off the coast of Italy, which fits both of these criteria. The island's dark history began during the days of the Roman Emperor, when plague victims were abandoned there. This practice was picked up again centuries later when the citizens of Europe sent those dead or dying of the Black Plague there. At the end of the dawn of the 20th century, this island became the home of an insane asylum run by a sadistic doctor who was none too discerning over who was committed. Many of the inmates who suffered and died on Pavaglia Island during this era claimed to be tormented by the spirits of the plague victims. Sadly, the staff ignored these claims until the doctor in charge of the asylum began to be tortured by these spirits as well. Eventually, this is what drove him mad, and he leapt off the bell tower to his death. The asylum was closed down due to the doctor's inhumane practices, but the dark past of the land continues to loom over it. Locals and fishermen steered clear of Pavaglia, and many who have given into their thirst for adventure came back refusing to talk about what they encountered. Number 9. Ural Mountains. In 1959, 10 hikers headed up the Ural Mountains in the USSR, and 9 were found dead. One member had to return early in the voyage due to illness. The Soviets said it was a powerful force of nature. It would have normally been called a tragedy in cold weather. Their conditions were raised questions. There were no signs of struggle, yet 2 victims had fractured skulls, 2 had broken ribs, and 1 was missing her tongue. Nobody knows exactly how they died or why they died. This is still an open mystery to this date. Number 10. The Girl Scout Murders. 3 young girls, Michelle Gauss, Doris Miller, and Lori Farmer, were killed while at a Girl Scout camp. The person or people involved in the heinous act carried the girls' bodies away from their tent, which were then found by a counselor on the trail on the way to the showers. Before the murders, someone broke into a counselor's tent and left a note saying that the 3 campgoers would be murdered, but it was all believed to be a prank. 2 months after the suspected prank letter was sent, the 3 girls turned up dead. No one has been charged with the murders, and nobody knows who did them. If you guys enjoyed this top 10 unexplainable occurrences that haven't been solved yet, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and comment your suggestions for other videos you guys want to see. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.